Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. Yes, finally the trial has begun in earnest between mazi Nnamdi and the federal government. All along for the past many months it has been a case of back and forth, but I think the real trial is about to begin. And of course the whole thing has started in earnest. The federal government have brought in their witnesses. You're going to get the full details of what transpired. Though you may not be able to see the faces of the witness, you're going to find out why also. And the drama is about to begin. Now, as we speak right now, Kanu faces 7-count charges of terrorism. Of course, the judge in charge of this case now is actually Justice James Omotosho. You know, they've taken Nyako out of this case. The federal government has actually called for their first witness. Of course, Adegboyega Awomolo is actually the prosecuting lawyer. That's for the federal government, and he has filed an application on April 10th for the court to allow witnesses by him or by the federal government to testify behind a screen and with a mask, I guess for their own protection. I don't wonder why. Of course, while MNK's lawyer Kanu Agabi didn't object because, of course, he's saying that instead, but he's also asking that the prosecuting lawyer, that's Omolo, to also cooperate with him when he also asks for bail for his defendant, which is mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Awomolo, who is actually the prosecuting lawyer, also demanded for TV screen, DVD player to play as evidences of some of the cases, some of the video evidences and clips of mazi Nnamdi Kanu's broadcasts, of which they want to tender as exhibit and evidences. Of course, they also accepted as well for that to happen. And the prosecuting lawyer calls their first witness who works with the DSS. Of course, they gave it a special name, AAA, and you know, that's not the real name. He's actually protecting himself, and the whole testimony began. Now, according to the first witness who actually works with DSS, he said he claimed that they arrested mazi Nnamdi Kanu in a hotel with a woman, and he led the DSS team to arrest mazi Nnamdi Kanu in a hotel known as Golden. The name of the hotel is Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos International Airport, as at October 14, 2015. Okay, they're recounting their experiences, though the hotel workers refused to show the DSS team their manifest of their guests that are already in the hotel, but instead they showed them a manifest of some 7 months ago, of which mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name was not there. But the DSS team bypassed them and using their august authority to get an order to search room to room in the hotel, of which, of course, the hotel workers had no other option but to oblige, because this is coming from order from above. Now they found mazi Nnamdi Kanu in room 303 with one young lady whose name is Maria Ibezimako. They found mazi Nnamdi Kanu in a room 303 with a young lady whose name is Maria Ibezimako. Now, mazi Nnamdi Kanu resisted the arrest initially. According to eyewitness talking, mazi Nnamdi Kanu resisted the arrest initially and even fought and headbutted one DSS officer or DSS man named Bolaji. Okay, but the room where they arrested mazi Nnamdi Kanu, according to the eyewitness, the DSS officer that is giving the witness the ordeal, he said the room where they arrested mazi Nnamdi Kanu looks like a broadcasting studio because there were a lot of broadcasting equipment there. They arrested mazi Nnamdi Kanu at about 11 p.m. that day. Then they later packed all the broadcasting equipment and tendered the list as evidence, and they admitted them henceforth as exhibits. Of course, they've not started mentioning exhibit. More details are coming as the trial has begun. Now, all along, if you notice so you can see now that the real trial has begun. All along, it has been a case of, okay, that now they're trying to bring out evidences. And some of their eyewitnesses, because a whole lot of them, I guess at the beginning, they were all really scared, coming to give eyewitness accounts and all that. But now that they have allowed them to be masked and to be on the screen, and so that their faces will not be heard. And they have video evidences of mazi Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast. Well, you would agree with me. I know that some of us will not like this, but will agree with me that some of the broadcasts of mazi Nnamdi Kanu, some of them were quite emotional, and even some of them, they're quite indicting. And if they're to download some of those videos and bring us exhibits and evidences, at some point I would have said they should actually go for political solution, political arrangement between mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government. But the way Nigeria itself is even going, a lot is at stake. But I also believe that because as we speak, mazi Nnamdi Kanu also have beefed up his defense team. More SAMs are already in his defense team. But then again, whatever it is, they're going to have to cross-examine the eyewitnesses also, the SS eyewitnesses of the prosecuting team, which is the federal government's team. And so while they're bringing out the evidences, I also believe that mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team is also more than equal to the task also to cross-examine. One thing is certain, I'm sure when they're going to cross-examine, because the case is still ongoing, we'll keep giving details as the details keep coming in from the courtroom. But one thing is certain, they will definitely want to cross-examine the DSS officer who is under marks behind the screen. Nobody really sees his face. They just give him a name, AAA, not his real name really, just to protect his identity. And I'm sure that mazi Nnamdi cannot, in all honesty, remember the faces of those who came to arrest him, or their names, who came to arrest him in a hotel in 2015. It's quite a long time. Okay, I doubt if you can place their faces, but whatever the case is, I believe that they will probably want to cross-examine these guys to say, look, do you have the right, or were you given arrest warrant to arrest Nnamdi Kanu? But let's see how it plays out, because I know this case is just beginning. All this while was Nnamdi has been trying to play safe. Omotosho is on this right now and is accepting all exhibits. If the prosecuting lawyer, the defense lawyer are agreeing to the application filed by one another, Justice Omotosho accepted it one time. Let's move on with this case and let's be fast about it. And he did promise Nnamdi Kanu that, do you believe that you can get justice, whatever it is, be rest assured we are going to give you. And mazi Nnamdi said, fine, if you are going to give me that, well, that's good. So the last case was a case of giving him assurances that you will get justice, and of course, let's stop this hanky-panky. Federal government, whatever you have, bring it on now. And they're bringing it on. And that's why they're bringing their witnesses under marks on behind the screen and all that. And this is getting interesting, if you ask me. So yes, it's about to begin, and I believe that the days of delay are over. So whatever defense mechanism mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team have, now is the time to bring it on, because they're bringing out evidences. But let's see how mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legal team also will counter them, because that's the beauty of this. And I know Nnamdi Kanu, mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if they don't defend him well, he will come and defend himself. He will defend himself. He's got what it takes, because he will tell you his right. And within all of this, there's also a right. He has a right to freedom of expression and all that. But we also have to find out where it ends as pertains to our constitution and our laws in the country of Federal Republic of Nigeria. But that's going to wrap it up. Let's meet in that conversation. We'll keep you updates as you keep coming in. Let's meet in that conversation. What's your take?